parliament has some limited powers. Its power were very limited. The Tsar could gather or dissolve whenever the Tsar was uh, Tsar. It was the Tsar's choice whether when he had to call the Duma or when he had to dissolve Duma. So it was based on his own choice. The Duma whenever he wanted. Whenever he wanted, he could call, and whenever he want to dissolve, if so, he had the right to dissolve the Duma. Here you can see this is an image of Duma, a parliament of Russia. And children, when we talk about the Russia's religion, so Russia was an Orthodox Christian country, uh, which had the base from Greek Orthodox Church. Along with this Orthodox Church, Orthodox Christianity, there were other religious people were residing, like Catholics, like Protestants, like Muslims and Buddhists. So these were another people, but the people did not have, the people those who belong to another religion beyond the Orthodox Church, Greek Orthodox Church, they did not have the religious freedom. So they were also indirectly they were also against the Tsar's policy and demanding for their freedom of religion. Now, after looking for the political situation, we will move for the economy and society. In this, we will try to understand what type of economy and society was existing in Russia before revolution. So, Russia basically was based on agriculture. More than 85% of the Russian population was earning their livelihood through cultivation. Industries were located but was found in few pockets of the country. Uh, Industries and were set up, which was the most private property of the industrialist. In Russia, the condition of the workers were not good. They did not have fixed working hours, their working conditions were not good, their wages were not fixed by the government, as well as there was no proper arrangement for their accommodation and other facilities. Even they did not have the right to form their unions and to ask for their demands, but still illegally they were forming and were going for the strikes. The another feature for the workers, that the workers, though the workers in Russia were divided into groups, they were divided into groups on the basis of their skills. Means what type of in what type of industries or the what type of work they were doing in factories, accordingly they were divided, like metal workers, like you can say iron and steel work, like textile workers, like construction workers. In this way, though they were divided, but they did unite to strike work when they were dissatisfied. Yes, this was the unique feature of the workers in Russia, that whenever there was a question of their rights or they were dissatisfied with the government policies, so always they get united and were unitedly they were going for the strike. So this was the this was the status of workers. And in Russia, workers strike, many times workers went on strike, like in between 1896 to 1897. In metal industry during 1902 they went on a strike to ask for those demands. Now the Russian peasants. The Russian peasants in Russia, though the Russian peasants cultivated most of the land, but most of the land was owned by the nobility, the crown and the Orthodox Church. Like workers, peasants were also divided into many categories, like landless peasants, small scale peasants, medium scale peasants, in this way. Unlike French peasants, Russian peasants also did not have any respect for their nobility. Even many times in Russia, the peasants wanted the land of the nobles to be given to them, and for this demand, they went on. They refused to pay rent and even murdered landlords in many parts of Russia. During 1902, in 1902, this such type of assassination occurred on a large scale in South Russia, and